Hey, what's up? It's Symphony here. Subscribe to my brother Mr. Creepy as Hell channel, and when you're watching his videos, make sure you stay in one piece. Peace, peace, peace.
My name is Abby, and this happened to me about 4 months ago. I always have a morning routine before I head off to work. I'm a nurse, and my shift usually starts at 8 o'clock a.m. at my job, and I usually don't get off till around 10 o'clock p.m. I usually get up at 4 o'clock a.m. and be out the door by 5, and I would go at Starbucks and sit there for about an hour and a half. I would come in there right when they open. I would always get me a latte, and I would just sit there on my laptop going over some paperwork before I go off to work. On this particular day when I went in, there was a new worker there, and his name was Gus. He was the cashier. After I got done making my order, Gus asked me a question that threw me off just a bit. "Hey, are you single? You look really cute. I was wondering if I can, get your number. Maybe I could take you out to eat sometime." "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. But thank you though, I appreciate the compliment," I told him. Besides, I was more focused on my career, and I really didn't have time for any type of relationship at the moment right now. I got my order, and I sat at the table for a bit as I went over some paperwork. But as I was doing that, I couldn't help but to feel like there were eyes watching me. I looked up, and it was Gus. He was wiping down one of the tables. I noticed that Gus was staring at me. When I looked at him and noticed that he was staring at me, he didn't turn away. He kept on just watching me. I started to feel just a little bit uncomfortable. I tried to brush it off, and I continued to focus on some of my paperwork. "So, are you sure you don't want to go out with me? I mean, I'm a charming guy. You may change your mind once you get to know me." I looked up, frustrated, as Gus was standing near my table. I wanted to really just tell him off, but I tried to be nice as possible, and I told him, "Look, I've already told you I'm not interested, okay? Thank you, though." "Oh, come on, give me a chance. You don't have to be like that. I really do like you, and I want you to get to know me." Now this time, Gus was really pissing me off. I've told him no twice in a very kindly manner. Instead of talking to him or getting upset, I just got up and collected my stuff, and I walked out of Starbucks. As I was walking off, I heard him say, "All right, bye, Abby. I'll see you in the morning. Maybe I may change your mind then." I ignored him. I got in my car, and I drove to work. The next day, I got up a little later because I didn't have to work that day. I got up and I done some yoga and stretched to wake myself up. Then after that, I hopped into the shower. As I was showering, I could have sworn I heard some noises in my kitchen. I turned off the shower to listen, and I heard pots and pans being moved around in my kitchen. My heart sank, and I can feel myself having a hard time catching my breath. I lived alone, so whoever was doing that, it had to be an intruder. Feeling scared, I dried off and got out of the shower. I locked my room door just to be on the safe side in case the intruder tried to come in. As I was getting ready to look for my phone and call the cops because of the intruder, my power went out inside my house. I was frightened even more now. And then what made the situation even more worse was there was someone running around in my house now. They were running all over the place. And then finally, I heard those footsteps coming towards my door. For a moment, it was silence. I was scared. I couldn't find my phone anywhere. And then I heard a light tap on the door. And then what followed next was one of the most horrifying things to ever happen to me. "Hey, Abby, it's me, Gus. Are you looking for your phone? I have it right here. Come out and get it." I felt like I was going to vomit. I was so horrified by the fact that Gus was not only able to find out where I live, but he managed to break in. I had to think quickly as Gus began to knock on the door a little harder. "Abby, come on and open up the door. I'm giving you a chance, or else I'm gonna bust the door down. Open up this door. Let me talk to you. I love you. And I know you're in your bath towel. I can hear you were taking a shower when I was in your kitchen. I want to see how beautiful your body look. Bare. Yeah, this guy was a creep. I didn't have time to think. I just opened up my room window and I leaped out of there and ran towards the neighbor for help. The neighbor welcomed me in and they called 911. When the cops arrived, they found Gus inside of my room, sniffing my underwears and my bra. They arrested him, and a few days later I was able to put a restraining order against him. But the situation was so terrifying that I decided to move. And even though I'm in a new house now, I'm horrified by what happened. I felt so uncomfortable and scared. Every time I go off to sleep, I can't stop thinking about that creep. I don't go to Starbucks anymore because it brings back that memory of when I encountered Gus. Only thing I could just say is that I'm glad that I was able to get out of there quickly and I made the right decision, because if I waited a couple of seconds later, he would have gotten in and there wouldn't be no way for me to escape. There was no telling what he was going to do to me. And that's what made the situation so frightening. And from what the officers told me, it was suspected that the man may have followed me when I left Starbucks the other day and figured out where I lived and where I worked.